Hello, welcome to Divine Messages of Light and Love. I'm Lana Fink, and today we're talking about 7 key faith insights. And number 6 is perseverance in faith despite your challenges. It's not easy. Trust me, I know it's not easy. No matter if it's a diagnosis or if something happens in your life and you're thinking to yourself, why? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to that person? How are we going to move on? I, and I just always think about my ex his uncle who got a diagnosis and within 3 months was gone, right? It When things like that happen in life and you're thinking to yourself, wow, that was fast. Or even my own uncle at age 51 passed away from brain cancer. 51. I mean, this is someone that I looked up to. He was my first boyfriend, right? When I was a little girl, but he was just amazing. He was a police officer in Arizona, and he literally dedicated his life to everyone. The youngest of 9 kids, and he died over 10 years ago. And when I think about everything that he went through the past final couple years of his life, I didn't even recognize him at the end. And having faith that God is always doing what he needs to do and he's in control of everything is what pulled me through that. When I think about my uncle Jeff, I think about him sitting at the gates of heaven welcoming everyone in back in his 30s when he was modeling for J.C. Penney's, which is a clothing store here in the US. Because I truly feel that that's his most vibrant self. He was self-assured, he was very good looking, had a full head of hair. Um, Not the way he looked at the end of his bout with cancer. For me, being able to visualize everyone who has passed on in their prime of their life in heaven, having a great time with God and everyone else that has passed on before them is what allows me to accept these things that happen. You know, when souls pass on, it's not at all easy, especially when we have a diagnosis of something that we weren't expecting. Because when that happens, your whole life can shift. And all of a sudden, you have to look inside and decide, are you going to fight? Or are you not going to fight? This is your decision, right? You know you have 2 options. I have an uncle very recently that unfortunately passed away 5 years after being diagnosed with cancer. Two, but 5 years ago, he was only given 2 years to live. He more than doubled his life expectancy because of the prayers, because of every single person in the family pulling for him and being a fighter, and God's ability and grace to allow him to survive that long with us. I was able to see him in December at Christmas, and then we had his services early January. It is so surreal when it happens like that, right? And you think about the last time you saw them and they were smiling, or maybe they weren't. But now to know that he's in heaven, no longer in pain, and that we all have the faith that God is always going to be with us no matter what. It's being resilient and being able to face these challenges that come into our life that's going to allow us to continue to just have that faith in what God has for us. I'm going to go ahead and challenge each one of you today. When you think that there's a challenge so insurmountable, you can't get over it, pray to God. Pray to Him that He can help you find the light. What's the one shining sliver of a light in this? What's the learning moment you need to have? Is it that you need to bring the family closer together? Is it that someone might need something from you? You never know what each one of the things that we go through, how it could impact our lives down the road. I gave you a couple of examples from my family of challenges, right, that we did go through as a family. And I know so many of us have challenges every single day that we're going through, whether it's a divorce with the family, you know, like we talked about, a death in the family, or even everyday struggles of paying your mortgage or your rent, making sure that there's food on the table, making sure that everyone has what they need to be successful every single day. And I know that whether you're a parent, you are always going out of your way for your children. And so think about all of these challenges that you face and how you think you don't have you don't have it in you to do anymore. But all of a sudden, you're going to feel either a little bit of energy or a little bit of light, and then you can get through it. That's God surrounding you, Him and His angels helping you get through that tough spot in your life. I'm Lana Fink with Divine Messages of Light and Love, and I'll be back with another video soon.